Hey fellow tennis nerds, I'm here with Carl and we're going to do something a bit different today because it's important to have fun when you play tennis, right? So today we're going to have some fun. It's called the Impossible Racket Challenge. You might have seen the video, it's pretty viral. Alcaraz versus Rune, and they play with only 6 main strings and 7 cross strings. So I tried a few different combinations to see what's easiest. This is the 6 and 7. Then I added like extra 2 cross strings on this one, and this I added just 1 more cross string. So we'll see what's easiest. So this will be the Impossible Challenge. Can we play like this? I mean, Carl's a better player than me, but this might even things out. We'll see. And to make it a little bit easier later on, we also have some sabers here, which is also a fun way to play with. This is the prototype, and this is the light. That's light, and this is the standard one. So these are all good training tools. Did you ever try this one? You did not.
Absolutely not. I've tried that,
yeah,
which is actually very nice to play with.
This, yeah.
Job, functional tennis for making them.
Yeah.
Let's see how these play. I'm excited for this.
I think that might be more difficult.
This one is actually the racket that I'm using daily at the moment, so I'm excited to try this Impossible Challenge.
Impossible string job, yeah.
I did watch Alcaraz versus Rune the other day playing like this, and I was like, wow, that's so original, though. That's so cool. And here we are trying it today, so
might break some strings.
Thanks to Mr. Tennis Net here making us try out new things.
Yeah, it's always fun. Always fun. All right, vamos.
This is not the easiest experiment I've done. You can play with it, but you do really notice that the sweet spot is small. I mean, if you hit anywhere outside center, it's gonna be impossible to hit a clean shot. So you really have to focus. I do still feel like the functional tennis sabers are more efficient in really dialing in that sweet spot, but I can also see a purpose in this little bit of a fun Impossible Racket Challenge. I'm not sure if anyone has advised this for as a training drill or anything, but yeah, once you hit off center and you want to hit full like that, you break strings, and we ended up doing that with all the rackets of this playtest. So the learning here is highly playable exercise, quite fun. Will take some proper knots. I tried my best, tried different knots, different strategies, but we still ended up breaking all the rackets relatively quickly. And as you could see in the Alcaraz Rune video, Rune broke also very, very quickly. But still, yeah, maybe it's more that we're hitting off center, or it's my knots, I don't know. But fun challenge, but the sabers were better.
So either we need a better stringer, which is very possible, or we are just miss-hitting too much. But it was fun test. I would say this one is more reliable to play points with and stuff. Impossible Challenge. Let me know, have you tried it? What's your thoughts? Fun experiment. Okay, let's hit with some sabers.
So with any sweet spot tool like the saber, it's all about trying to hit in the middle and hitting more through the ball. I would say any kind of extreme grip is quite punished, whether you have like a Western or even Hawaiian grip, and it kind of forces you to work on better mechanics and really make sure you hit the ball in front and so on. So I think it has some purpose. What we did and what I will get to later on is that we play with these for a while, and that can do some things to your technique. One great thing about the saber is that you can actually play full on, so you can really swing, go for your shots, and you can play proper tennis. You can play with serves, you can play without serves like we started out here, and you can play a full set match, whatever you want really, and that's what I really enjoy. The thing is, I play relatively flat, as you might know if you're watching my videos, and this racket works a bit better for me than players with a lot of topspin. This kind of brings me back to the days of mid-size rackets, and I will make a little bit of a different video about that for classic rackets if you're interested. But for some techniques, obviously you kind of are nostalgic about the days where you play with more like gut strings and mid-size racket. Okay, I'm not that old, but it wasn't that long ago that Federer used a 90, and there were a lot of prestige classics for Safin and so on. And I've heard that from Marat that he's a bit pissed off that they don't sell these 90 square inch rackets anymore. Or even 93, because that's now become like almost an extinct head size on the market. And I do enjoy hitting with a smaller head size. I think it forces you to focus a bit more. I mean, obviously it's going to be super demanding and challenging if you're playing a guy who plays with heavy topspin.
First 3 serves, straight to the backhand. They're landing in the same area as mine. It's too good, man. Consider a racket change on it. That's good.
With the Saber challenge over, we can take a look at this beautiful blacked out, or a little bit of gray as well, the new cosmetic for Novak Djokovic at the US Open. And you can find this racket at our friends Tennis Warehouse Europe and so on. Looks great. It's a normal speed MP, and if you like the speed MP and you want a blacked out racket, this is the way to go. So it took us a little while after we've been playing with the Sabers and the Impossible Racket Challenge. You know, that was like an hour of playing at least, and then we wanted to play with normal rackets, and that was difficult in the beginning because the normal racket feels a little bit like a toy in a way, because you have all this real estate to hit the ball. Also, Carl was pissed off that he didn't play better at the Functional Tennis Saber Challenge, so he decided to punish me pretty badly when we played tie breaks with the speed. I was pretty one-sided, to be honest, and that's normal. And I'm an older guy. I like my mids, smaller head sizes, flatter game, obviously less good technique and so on. Let's get into the blacked out speeds a bit. As you can see, the regular retail paint has gone down in price, so really good reviews, really great racket for a wide group of players. This blacked out version has the same specifications as the regular speeds, so it's mainly a question of cosmetic, which is very common today. The racket companies do change cosmetics here and there, and there's limited edition versions, and the bigger brands all do this. They have the money to do it, and it seems to generate revenue, of course, to have different versions, different options in the cosmetics. And this one looks great. I can say, you know, you've seen it here in the video, and it looks great up close. Whether it's worth $70 or $60 extra. That's up for you to decide. I know it's a very personal thing, the cosmetics, and some people put a lot more weight on them and some people they don't care at all. The speed though, the new line, the Oxetic line, it's great. Very good playability, works good for baseliners but can also play more aggressive tennis. Pro version with its 1820 string pattern and heavier weight is better for more advanced players. I would say that suits stronger players because it has a higher swing weight. This one came in at a pretty manageable 318 strung swing weight with the factory string, so that's pretty gentle, I would say. And Carl, who is using the Boom MP Customize, was really taken by this racket, as you will see in his summary. He really enjoyed playing with it and he played really well with it. Maybe there was some kind of Saber effect that helped him focus extra, or he was just pissed about his own play, but he played really well with the new speed.
Okay, Carl, we had some fun today in our training session. We played with now broken strings on the Impossible Challenge rackets. We could hit with those. It wasn't that hard, but it might be harder to string, or we just hit them a little bit off center, and that's what happens when you break strings. I mean, Alcaraz or Rune broke the string quite quickly as well, or it might be my stringing, but worth giving a try. I would say I would prefer this, and it's where probably I play my best tennis of the day. What do you say about comparing the challenge versus the functional tennis?
No, as you briefly mentioned, that I saw it on a reel on Instagram a couple of weeks ago when Alcaraz and Rune did the challenge, and it looked like really impressive that they were hitting with it. And if I remember correctly, the first shot went like way into the stands.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that was definitely going to happen to us, or maybe even go like through these hands. But we actually managed to control it.
We could rally pretty well with it, yeah.
But as soon as we went to the baseline, I think after the third, fourth shot that we hit,
as soon as you start
increased power,
the
strings, not that the strings broke, but the knots came off. I mean, there's a lot of pressure maybe.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the small knots.
For a knot.
I don't know if you should adjust tension here. I went for 23 kilos. Didn't want to go too high.
We were talking about that. I was maybe suggesting maybe go up the tension.
Yeah, maybe again, going up.
If you go up the tension with this kind of string pattern, maybe it's going to ruin the head, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't want to experiment too much, but if your string is up there, maybe you have better ideas.
Maybe double knot, triple knot. Or
maybe triple knot.
Maybe quadruple knot. This doesn't happen because it sucks to spend time stringing them.
Well, the stringing them is fast, but it's like the knot, you have to have a good technique.
Yeah.
I did prefer the Saber. It kind of works for my game. What I did struggle with is that, we played with that. We played quite a long time with them. We played like some tie breaks and everything. And when we stopped playing, I had a hard time adjusting to my normal rackets, I struggled with, while you were just like, in the beginning, But then when you found your groove, you were playing better than normal, like you were setting everything in.
No, it was definitely a little phase, like right after we changed back to our original racket. I felt like my timing was totally off. I think this is great for maybe hit a few drills with the basket, just to feel maybe like slow movements, but to actually hit or play points, especially over an extended period of time. Like we hit with it for over an hour maybe. It was too long, like we both lost timing. I
think like 10-15 minutes, then you're dialed in. You can go to your normal racket. Playing with it like we did, like as a challenge, and we started also with the funky rackets, was not so easy then to go back, and you would probably need like another like 20 minutes, at least me. But he did just quite quickly. You were pumped up, you said. You were like, okay, I'm going to show that I can replay that. So you did.
The thing that I did like about this whole racket is that it was so difficult to play with that I got fired up inside because my shots weren't working, like no drop shots, no ball.
You play with a low spin, like usually in quite a lot whippy, so it's maybe that's...
Yeah, exactly. For people that hit maybe more flat, I do maybe recommend this, like we did mention, for people that maybe have like a swing that's like a lot going on. Because you really have to simplify your swing to be able to do it.
You can only hit the in front. You can't just you have any funny motions or hit with the Western.
I think that for people that have Western, I really want to struggle. Maybe for people that have Western and want to change to maybe semi-Western or make that transition, I think maybe that's going to work to kind of force yourself
to hit always on the center, and instead of having like this kind of...
Yeah, and more like a east to west or horizontal movement rather than like so much. But yes, regardless, I think that this is good, but I wouldn't use it for too long.
Yeah. But then you also tried the speed. So this is the regular speed. It's the new awesome looking blacked out, kind of grayed out paint job. It's a bit of gray, bit of black, and some shiny color lettering here. I think it's like copper lettering. And first time you played the speed, you really enjoyed the Boom MP. This is the Speed MP. What do you think about it? Like first impression?
Yes, it was definitely I had to get used to it in the beginning. I'd never tried a speed before. It was strange to hold like such a thin thin racket like on the throat.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm like getting ready. And the shape of the head is very different.
There's a
like a
bit more of
teardrop.
this, yeah.
And this looks more like an egg shape. So definitely.
This is more traditional racket shape, really, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm used to one that's not so traditional. So going back to traditional was weird. But as I found it, it was very good. I liked it. I was rallying, it was tough. Also, like the transition between the functional to the speed, of course.
Which was a new racket for you, yeah, it makes a big difference.
But overall, I did like it. In the end, we played some points. I was playing very good. And then when we played with serve, the serve was going great. I was hitting some really good kick serve. I felt like it was a lot of spin, a lot of jump. So I like this racket. I'm playing with the boom at the moment, but if I were to maybe change, maybe this would be a candidate.
Yep, for sure. I think so. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway. More to come on Tennis Nerd. Please subscribe. These guys work at Tennis Valley. So if you're in the Marbella region, they have an academy there, which is great. Like great coaches. Edgar, you have seen before. Carl Adrian, you've seen before for sure in my videos going on the ATP tour, because you work with Roman Tafulin as well. So they have a great team here. So if you're in the Marbella area, come here for some coaching. I'm sure you will improve your game.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.
And don't forget to play some tennis.